Rule number 10, principles of intensity. Understanding the science of bodybuilding in terms of the mechanical physics has now been addressed. So now let's talk about the next part, exercise physiology. I will address the biochemical changes that result in muscle growth. These are well known and understood, as is the stimulus necessary to induce these biochemical changes. As you know, while it is true that we differ in terms of the genetics, physical appearance, personality, and many other factors, the forces of physics affects all of our bodies universally, and all of our anatomy and all of our biochemistry are the same. And if it wasn't, doctors, pharmacies, vitamin shops, you name it, they would be out of the job. Now, these changes in our human chemistry, which allow for the growth of new muscle tissue, remain consistent throughout all humans. Mountains and mountains of data and evidence of the past century, as well as simple logic, have shown with absolute certainty that the only way to rapidly grow new muscle tissue is with high intensity. If you need a muscle to come back stronger than it was before, you must challenge it in a way it has never been challenged, so it is broken and then forced to adapt, recover, and come back stronger or with more muscle fibers. Intensity, as it applies to bodybuilding, can be defined as one's temporary ability to put forth 100% effort in pursuit of muscle damage. By forcing the muscle to do more than it has before, you cause the body to use all of its reserve ability, since the body has only relatively small quantities of reserve ability to utilize before tissue loss occurs. Our bodies will then protect themselves. They will do this by enlarging their normal ability through a compensatory backup of more muscle mass. Only high-intensity training can force the body to resort to its reserve ability to significantly stimulate compensatory muscle growth. Repeating exercises or movements that you can already comfortably perform have no benefit in terms of muscle growth. An additional benefit of high-intensity muscular contraction is it prevents even the possibility of many such contractions within a given unit of time. So, this is because intensity and duration exist in an inverse ratio to each other. You can either produce maximum intensity or you can train long, but you cannot do both. More on this in Rule 11, by the way. Carrying a set to a point where you are forced to utilize 100% of your momentary ability is the single most important factor in increasing your size and strength. Working to this point of failure when another rep is impossible, despite the greatest effort, ensures that you have succeeded in true failure. Rule 11. Using correct volume and recovery time. To some, just putting in a lot of effort in the gym equals a high-intensity training session. To others, sweating a lot while they're in the gym means high intensity. Some, breathing hard. To others, the word intensity means training with heavier weights and doing each set to complete and total musculature failure, where the weight cannot be moved at all because of the musculature failure. The correct definition of high-intensity training. Training with heavier weights and fewer reps means the most efficient gains in size and strength, as well as maximum recovery time and no lactic acid-induced muscle soreness. Training with lighter weights and less rest time between sets is not nearly as productive for muscle growth and recovery. In addition, your workouts will take 3 to 4 times longer to complete, and you will not damage your muscle as efficiently. Using the lightweight to training failure system does not impose a significant degree of metabolic stress on the muscle, which in turn activates muscle protein synthesis and subsequent muscle mass gains, but no strength due to lack of sufficient muscular tension, even with training to failure with light weights. Regardless of who you are or how advanced in your training you are, lifting proportionately heavy weights with more rest between sets is more likely to produce greater gains in muscular size and strength compared to lifting more moderate weights and taking shorter rest between sets. You must have the intensity and you have to train real close to failure or to failure, one or the other, and the weight has to be one that challenges you.